Race 24 of the 2008 season starts off. Unbelievable. Lap number 1. And our championship contender behind the wall. They do a lot of work getting back out on the racetrack. He's making laps and he's trying to make up some room on the racetrack, but he's got to get in front of some trucks that are just now coming off of the racetrack. Currently running 30th. He's 29 laps down to Kyle Busch. Kevin Harvick has been able to make the pass on Brian Scott and moves up to second.
Yeah, all the talk in the garage area was that the 33 truck of Hornaday, the 2 of Harvick, the 51 of Kyle Busch, the 30 of Todd Bodine, as we watched Todd here trying to wrestle away the 4th spot from Scott Speed, were the trucks to beat in happy hour last night. Ooh, look at Scott get a little bit loose off the corner.
He was on the gas there, but the thing was out from underneath of him. Todd Bodine takes advantage of it and drives down to the inside of Scott Speed and takes over the 3rd spot.
52 laps into this 150 lap race. Johnny Benson running back in the 21st spot. He's off the pace.
He's not going anywhere either, Rick. He just lost that 20th spot to Dennis Setzer. Meanwhile, Hornaday has just picked up a couple of spots on the racetrack. He's moved up to 29th as they run on the track right now. Benson's only been able to mount a 30-point lead.
Here's Johnny's on board right here, and you know, we thought maybe he didn't have much damage, or maybe he's got more damage than we thought, Ray.
And they're saying on the radio, Phil, that he's very, very tight in the center, but he said it's odd because in 1 and 2, it's much more pronounced than it is in 3 and 4. Now they're going to make a track bar adjustment on the next stop for Johnny Benson. If they raise that track bar, it should loosen him up a little bit.
You know, I wonder maybe if that right rear tire got hit a little bit there with all that damage on the right side, maybe pull that housing around a little bit or something.
Or it could have knocked the toe in out on the right front. You know, the damage is right there behind the front tire, so there could indeed be some damage. Look at Harvick. Harvick's taking the lead away from Kyle Busch, or is he? Kyle hangs tough on the outside.
Kevin Harvick decides, I'm going to challenge for the top spot here. Kyle Busch says, no, 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 not yet. I'm going to hold on to this. So Kyle Busch on the outside, Kevin Harvick on the bottom. They continue side by side here at Phoenix.
Kevin wants that lead. He's here to win this race. That 2-truck won a couple races ago with Ryan Newman driving it.
Again, all over the back bumper. What are they talking about on the radio, Adam?
You know what? They're not saying a word. I'm not so sure that the situation that happened on lap 1 with their teammate and championship contender Ron Hornaday didn't put a sour taste in their mouth. Not because anybody did anything wrong, but just major disappointment. And so they have strapped up those competitive boots, and now they are going after Kyle Busch for the lead. This happening at lap 56, Ray.
Back in 4th position is Todd Bodine in his Lumber Liquidators Toyota. Now Todd has been on the radio a couple of times telling his crew chief Mike Hillman Jr. that he's tight in the center. They're also talking about a track bar adjustment here, but there's one other thing they're not quite sure about. Sometimes you get tight in the center because the splitter is dragging on the racetrack, and they think that the left front of that truck may be just a little bit too low. So they're wondering if just a little bit of air pressure in that left front might get that splitter back up off of the ground and help eliminate some of his tight condition.
That's what these crew chiefs have to balance, Phil. There are so many ways to adjust a truck. Even in 13 or 14 seconds on a pit stop, they can change air pressure. They can change the wedge in the truck. They can also raise the rear track bar. They've got literally dozens of combinations of adjustments that they can make to these vehicles.
See, Johnny Benson pulls back up on the rear tailgate of the 18 of Dennis Setzer. We saw Dennis pass Johnny about 10 laps ago. Johnny's been able to stay right with Dennis. Johnny right now is 20 seconds behind our leader, Kevin Harvick. And boy, I'll tell you, would Kevin Harvick love to come around and put Johnny Benson a lap down now?
Oh, that would make him feel a little bit better. Adam was right. They do have a sour taste in their mouth right now. If Kevin Harvick goes on to win this race, he's still going to be disappointed with what happened on lap 1. But that'll be some pretty good medicine for him to give himself if he can get that 2-truck in victory lane.
Kevin Harvick has not been to victory lane in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race since he was here at Phoenix quite a few years back.
Johnny Benson running on the inside of Dennis Setzer. You know, Phil, that truck week in and week out gets better and better as the race goes on. You know, once they get some laps on the tires, Johnny seems to improve. Once they're able to adjust on it on pit road a little bit, Johnny seems to improve. So while right now he's in a dangerous position of going a lap down, I think they'll make this truck better throughout the night.
Kevin Harvick right now, his lap times have slowed down a little bit from what he was running earlier. So right now, Johnny's not losing quite as much time, although he did that lap. He lost quite a bit of time because of that side-by-side battle he had with Dennis Setzer.
Battle for 6th and 7th over on the left side of your screen. Scott Speed just in front of the 19 of Brad Keselowski.
Remember, this is Brad Keselowski's own team right here, this 19 truck. Would love to run some next year. Looking for sponsorship to try to run maybe a half a dozen races himself, and then maybe another driver in some other races. Doing a great job right now. This is a Hendrick Motorsports engine, the same engine that Brad won with in Nashville in his Navy number 88. Ooh, a little contact there.
That was half a lap ago.
Wonder what started all that.
You wonder that something may have happened over there on the other end of the racetrack, but
that had all the look of a payback, saying, "Don't be hitting me, I'll hit you back."
that was a very compromising position to have Scott Speed in there in the dog leg in the backstretch.
Wide open, 160 or 70 miles an hour, and somebody's hitting you on your tailgate. That's no fun.
Now he goes to the inside, tries to take the position away from Scott Speed, and we've got another caution on the racetrack. This time it's the 50 of Craig Wood.
Another big break for Johnny Benson. Johnny had found himself 23.5 seconds behind. He was only about 5 seconds ahead of our leader, Kevin Harvick.
Craig Wood, you see there pictured on the left, he is the next truck ahead of Ron Hornaday. So while it's a break for Johnny Benson, it's also a break for Ron Hornaday. I don't know. These guys won't get this truck fixed well enough to stay ahead of Ron, I don't think.
Probably not. And they may not even try to stay on the racetrack.
Does Craig Wood look a little bit like Spicoli? I liked his hair.
Again, there's another look at what just took place.
Wow, I don't understand what happened.
Smashing into the inside barrier. So a lot of damage to the right side of that race truck. It looks like he's going to make the hard left turn.
That'll mean 3 more points for Ron Hornaday. Eventually, not right now.
It's going to take him 10 or 15 laps to get them, but he's going to get those 3 points, and that'll put Ron up to the 28th spot. And he's not going to get any worse than that, Phil. I believe this truck will continue to run all night long. He just has to look and see if anybody ahead of him is going to have any trouble. He could finish as well, you know, obviously up into the top 25 maybe.
And this could have been huge for Johnny Benson to take advantage of this. But right now, Johnny Benson is still running that conservative run that you talked about earlier. And right now he's in 21st.
Yeah, and he may take advantage later on.
Yeah.
We don't know what Johnny may have in store.
They're on pit road. Adam Alexander.
And Kevin Harvick, as we told you earlier, very quiet on the radio. They are going to make a slight air pressure adjustment, but no major changes to the chassis. They feel good about it. They are 8 laps from being able to go the distance here. First pit stops of the night, lap 64. Meanwhile, a handful of pit stalls in front of them. The guy that's been right behind him recently, we're talking about Kyle Busch. 4 tires and fuel, air pressure. Kyle says he needs more front grip. Let's go now to Ray Dunlap.
Todd Bodine in number 30 is out on this end of the racetrack, and he is trying to get that thing a little bit better through the center of the corner. He said, "This is where we get him, guys." Todd Bodine came in running 4th. He is going to battle with the 2, and a lot of contact down at the end as the 7 tried to get out. Bodine will roll off pit road 3rd, but man, it was tight for him and Harvick.
Kyle Busch looks like he's going to win the race off pit road. TJ Bell moves up 14 spots to 2nd. Todd Bodine coming off 3rd.
Yeah, TJ must have done a 2-tire change. Busch Hilton decided to roll the dice here, put 2 tires, get some track position.
Take a look at this race off of pit road.
Check these guys out.
See, Kevin gets his 4 tires. He pulls out. Here's Kyle Busch right there.
Kevin checking up. Didn't want to have any contact there early in this race.
And remember, these guys pick their pitches. You see Todd Bodine. Ooh.
Todd right into the 2 of Kevin Harvick.
Todd had to avoid the 7 of TJ Bell. They picked these pits by owner points. They actually picked them last week for this race.
We'll be back with more of the Lucas Oil 150 from Phoenix International Raceway after these messages.